One man's journey ignited an entire nation and changed the course of history forever, and that man was Mahatma Gandhi, and this is the story of the Salt March. To understand the significance of the Salt March, we must first delve into the historical context behind it. By the 1930s, India's struggle against British rule had reached a crucial juncture. The British were notorious for imposing unfair taxes on their subjects. They would tax absolutely everything without any regard. They even imposed heavy taxes on basic commodities such as salt. And it was this salt tax that turned out to be one of the most burdensome because it affected the most poorest of Indians who could not legally produce their own salt anymore, so they had no choice but to buy it from the British government at inflated prices. Mahatma Gandhi, the leader of the Indian independence movement, decided to do something about this. So in classic Gandhi-like fashion, he took extreme measures to challenge this unjust tax. On March 12, 1930, he announced his plan, and his plan was to march 240 miles from his ashram to a coastal village of Dandi in Gujarat, where he himself vowed to make salt from the sea, defying British law. With 78 of his followers right behind him, Gandhi began the 240-mile journey on foot. The march was not just a protest against the salt tax, but it was a demonstration of non-violent resistance and civil disobedience. Along the way, Gandhi spoke to the crowds about the injustices of British rule, inspiring thousands to join him. As the march progressed, more and more followers marched right alongside of him. Villagers from all over joined the march, swelling their numbers. The movement also attracted global attention, putting the spotlight on India's fight for independence. On April 6, 1930, after 24 days, Gandhi finally reached his destination, and in a powerful act of defiance, in front of an onlooking crowd, he picked up a lump of natural salt from the shore and held it in the sky. This simple act resonated deeply throughout the entire world, symbolizing the reclaiming of Indian resources and rights from British control. The Salt March sparked a nationwide movement. Tens of thousands of Indians began producing and selling salt illegally, leading to mass arrests, including Gandhi himself. The British response was severe, but the movement had already achieved its goal. It united Indians across regions and castes in a common cause, and drew global attention to the Indian struggle. The Salt March of 1930 remains a pivotal event in the history of India. It showcased the power of non-violent resistance and civil disobedience, principles that would continue to eventually guide the way to freedom. Gandhi's march to Dandi was a step towards a free India, a journey that culminated in independence in 1947. The Salt March signifies the lengths of colonialism that are often overlooked. To rob a country of its natural resources only to sell it back to the country at inflated prices is wild. Taxation is the most potent method Britain used to rule the world. I mean, even the United States became its own country after protesting against an unfair tax. But there's no doubt that no soul suffered more at the hands of unjust taxes than the Indians. They were burdened by it for 3 centuries.